Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks are back at SIUH Community Park July 7th to the 12th for a 6-game series against the High Point Rockers. Wednesday, July 8th with first pitch at 6:30. It's Woo Wednesday in collaboration with the Wu-Tang Clan. The Ferry Hawks transform into the Shaolin Hawks. Thursday, July 9th, first pitch is at 6:30. It's Thirsty Thursday with $5 Bud and Bud Light drafts.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Katz and Cosby, entertaining and informative
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And you guys, as you were talking, John, President Trump talking about just how bad things are in Chicago.
Well, why don't we go to Illinois and then talk about Chicago? And we have the former governor, Rod Blagojevich. I said it right, I think.
Rod Blagojevich, we love you. We love you.
Are you back from
Serbia, right?
Oh yeah, I'm back, and then I've been to Washington D.C. and then I'm back here. And yesterday I had hip replacement surgery, so I had my left hip replaced, and the surgery went well, and I'm feeling great.
Oh my God! Well, thank you for calling us. I'm glad it went well, Governor. That's great.
Yeah, I'm chalking that up to 8 years in prison running counterclockwise on the track. That's what they make you do. So it's another grievance I have against those corrupt prosecutors who sent me there for politics, not for crimes.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, you paid, sadly, a dear price.
President Trump made a statement the other day. I guess he was in one of those moods, saying, what was it, 278?
Yeah, it was like a huge amount, almost 300 in terms of murders that are taking place in Chicago. And he's begging, he's saying, I don't know why officials there are not saying, come on in, we can help.
Come on in and help us cut down the black and Latin kids that are dying.
95% of the homicides in Chicago are black and brown. About 85% are black, and the other additional 10% are brown. 5% are the rest of the people who live in the city, which is a very diverse city.
It's horrible.
But think about the disproportionality of it. And think about the Black Lives Matter slogan and how we have a black mayor and we have a Democrat governor in Pritzker who pandered to the socialists, and they don't care about black lives, because if they did, they would accept President Trump's offer to help save black lives by more law enforcement in those neighborhoods. You know, gangbangers outnumber the cops by more than 10-1 in those neighborhoods. And we had a teen takeover just the other day on the west side of Chicago, which I know very well because I grew up there, which is a black community, black neighborhood, and the good, decent people living in that neighborhood were being held hostage by a bunch of riotous mob teenagers. And where are the adults, and where were the authorities? And the police were there doing the best they could, but they know they're under orders to kind of just act as sort of escorts, police officers. It's crazy.
It is crazy. You know, Governor, I was in D.C. last week for a brief time, and as soon as I saw it, it was so much better because the feds have come in there and cleaned up. They've worked with the city. And I thought about Chicago. My goodness, how different it would be if things were fixed. I was
a couple of weeks ago, as I said, and I noticed 4 national men. There was 2 were women, 2 were men. One was black, 1 was Latino, and 2 were white. They were America. They were walking calmly, not bothering anybody, and it was reassuring. And I had the same thought. What is wrong with that? If they were in Chicago and they were in the right places, they would keep the city safe and the people safe, and the gangbangers would know that they can't run wild because there was actually something real when it comes to law enforcement.
Yeah, Craig Eaton.
Governor, this is a problem that's rampant throughout the country. I mean, I walk 4 blocks from my car to the studio on Tuesday afternoon every week. And every week I find more and more homeless people laying on the street. Some even are half naked now, which is even disturbing. But, you know, the crime here, the homelessness, it's disgusting. But the crime and the homelessness here and the mental illness here on the streets of New York City and all of these other cities, it's only going to get worse as socialism spreads further and further into the United States.
Well, we see that in Chicago. You know, there's homelessness is in many places in the city, and you go downtown, and I'm a little reluctant to go downtown for a couple of reasons, not the least of which is I'm recognizable to some of those homeless guys. They ask me for money, and I feel like, how can I not give them money? It costs me $20 every time I go downtown after I pay for parking.
Yeah, that's incredible. You know, before we let you go, Governor Blagojevich, I got to get to today. There was a hearing in the Sheridan Gorman case, and that is, of course, that's the Loyola University student who was killed in March by the illegal immigrant who never should have been in this country, had a criminal record. And I couldn't believe this. You know, we were sort of hearing, I guess, the inklings of the defense. And we've got some great attorneys in the studio here. So here's this guy. He had shoplifting, he had a couple other things in the country illegally, comes upon her and shoots her in the back as she's running. It's a horrible crime. And now his defense says, well, he's a bit mentally disabled. And I was watching the defense attorney. I had cringes up my spine because she was saying, you know, he really needs a dentist. You know, he walks with a cane. You know, he was shot in the head, she claims, years ago, and that he's had a lot of mental problems. And the problem is he got a gun. Guns are so easy. She's like gun blaming as opposed to this guy. I thought, oh my goodness, she's shot in the head and the defense attorney's worried about his molar.
You know, I saw Sheridan Gorman's mother's testimony at the house. It was so moving and touching. And, you know, heart-wrenching. This poor mother, young mother, and her young daughter. And she asked the questions about why is it that we can't protect American citizens from illegal immigrants, and her young daughter and what happened to her. It should have never happened. And it's sanctuary cities are illegal. They're fundamentally illegal, and they're designed to protect who? People who came to our country illegally, and 10% or better violent criminals, and the people who let them in, the Biden administration, the Democrats, they know that. And you had this guy shooting this beautiful young girl. Why? Because it was a gang initiation. I know this subject real well with a bunch of these guys for 8 years. It's a gang initiation. And this is why the Democrats want to cover it up, because they know if more and more people knew that, the Democratic leaders like Pritzker and Johnson and others who allow this to happen will be held accountable. It is galling and it's sickening. Instead of asking, what can we do to stop these murders and make this community safe, instead they just play cover-up politics and point fingers and, you know, always fall back on blaming Trump or something.
It is. It is such disgusting Trump derangement syndrome, to your point. Governor, thank you very much. It's really great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And I'm glad you're feeling well. I'm glad your surgery went well.
Anyone can sell electronics. At Electronics Expo, they do more than sell products. They design, install, and support complete technology solutions. From home theaters and whole home audio to lighting, shades, automation, networking, security cameras, and premium entertainment systems. For over 22 years, they've helped thousands of homeowners experience technology at its very best. See the difference for yourself. Visit their Wayne or Paramus stores in New Jersey or shop now at electronicsexpo.com.